And I'm back. Said I wasn't gonna do this year, this whole video vlog thing, but here I am. And I think the main reason was because this year has turned out great for me. Like 2 races in, and I already got 2 personal bests, and I'm pretty excited about that. You see, I got my shirt. Just ran that yesterday. But we're gonna talk about the first race I ran, which was the Cherry Tree out in Prospect Park. Ran that race last year just to get me ready for the NYC half. So decided, if it broke, they'll fix it. I had a I had a great time running that race last year, and then plus I did the turkey trot out there in Prospect Park with the Prospect Park Track Club, and they host great races. So I was like, yeah, let me do it again to kind of get me ready. And this year was kind of special because they were giving out medals. And I paid like 25, $30, I think. So I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm not going to run in this race. Because I would have just did it if it wasn't for the medal. But the fact that we are getting medals was, no pun intended, kind of put the cherry on the Sunday. And it wasn't really that cold that day. But I ran the race, did really well, ran a personal best. What was my time to do it this week now? It was like an hour and 35 minutes and 25 seconds. And I was kind of shocked that I ran a personal best because I stopped twice, was to tie my sneakers, and the other used the bathroom, which tells me that I am getting faster and whatnot. But here is the medal. Probably will run it again next year, but I think if I do run it, probably gonna do the relay thing. I already had some people who said that they would probably do it too, because that's one of the things I want to cross off my running bucket list, is to kind of run a relay thing with people. Probably won't do it this year, maybe next year, but we'll see. So that kind of got me ready for the NYC half, because after I did that 10 mile, I was kind of heading into it strong. And then I had a couple of bumps in the training for the NYC half. I think was it, like 2.5, 3 weeks ago before the race. I did the open run, which is I do every Saturday. Run with the group. They're great out there in Holland. And I'm feeling kind of funny. So I thought maybe, you know what? Maybe I kind of got lazy and didn't eat like I normally do for breakfast. Came home after the overrun, and I just threw up. I don't know what that was about. The week after that, I was talking to a bunch of other people from the open run, and another young lady was like, yeah, she kind of felt the same thing. So I'm thinking maybe it was a weird thing going around. But nevertheless, I continued and trained hard for the NYC half, which was this year. NYC half was going to be amazing because this year, because last year it was all in Manhattan, but this year the race starts out in Brooklyn. Prospect Park, and the finish line is in Central Park. So this is like the first time that they were doing that, and it was no way in heck I was gonna miss this race and whatnot. So yeah, it's race day came, was nervous as usual. I'm telling you, the days that I'm not nervous on race day is the day I'm gonna stop running these races. You know, it's normal to have butterflies, but so it race day it was freaking cold. I always keep my eye on the weather, but it was, boy, it was cold. It was. I had the hand warmers. I should have searched harder to get the foot warmers, because they got the things where you could put on your sock and it warms your feet up. but I couldn't find it. I had the hand warmers, which that helped a little bit. And I also had a jacket. The jacket that I had, because at the finish line they had a bin for Goodwill, and you could discard your jacket after, you run, before you start your race. And I did that, and the jacket thing helped, but I just couldn't stay warm. I tried to jump up and down and stretch, and no matter what I do, it just, it wasn't, nah, it didn't help. And it took me a couple of miles to kind of warm up, because I was at wave 2. I was thinking, because last year I was at wave 3, which was brutal. But I was thinking, oh, it's only 2 waves, so maybe we'll get to running a lot faster than last year. Not so much, but it is what it is. And started out Prospect Park, and we were running off Flatbush, and I used to work downtown Brooklyn, so it was kind of like a sightseeing run, And downtown Brooklyn has changed a lot, Stores that I remember aren't there anymore, new buildings and whatnot, and we running past the Berkeley, and that was amazing. We ran past where I used to work at on Flatbush Extension or whatever. The place that's closed, and that was kind of emotional because I used to love that job. But we like heading towards the Manhattan Bridge, and when I used to work down there, on Fridays, I used to do this thing, and this was when I would start running like 4 years ago, where on Fridays I would like get off at my normal time, put on some shorts, and just run across back and forth the Manhattan Bridge. So I kind of knew what to expect with the Manhattan Bridge. But this was kind of different because, we weren't on the streets. We wasn't on this side where the bikers and the walkers or whatever. We were on the street or whatever, and it was amazing. You just went across that bridge, and it was cold, like I said. So that wind was hitting you, or whatever, and like going into the race, I had this cold, which is hanging on for dear life. Try to get rid of it, but it's still there. But yeah, but that part was amazing, just running across that bridge. And then when we get on the Manhattan side of the bridge, we're right into like Chinatown. And shout out to New Yorkers, man. New Yorkers get a bad rap, but they come out for these races. I don't care how cold it is. They cheer you on. Shout out to the volunteer. That they amazing because, you figure if these people out in the cold, all the volunteers are out there handing you Gatorade or water or whatever, it's tough for them to warm up or whatever, to keep warm. We're running, so, after a while, you just stop complaining, and just run and do the best you can. And I did. So, yeah, New Yorkers were out there. They were cheering us on and whatnot. And, I had my Forest Park shirt. And, yeah, go Forest Park. And people were just cheering you on or whatever. And, yeah, it's an amazing race. And then, like, another cool part about this race is running through Times Square. I could never get tired of that. Like, that part, to me personally, that was the best part of the race. Is just like running through Times Square. It's amazing. And, people cheering you on. My son had a race too at Times Square. They didn't bother to stick around and cheer me on, and I don't blame them because it was cold and whatnot. So, but we running through Times Square to get to Central Park. And my timing was good. My pace was good. Wish it could have been a little bit better, but we get to times we get to Central Park. So I'm thinking, okay, yeah, finish strong, but I had nothing left. I legit had nothing left. Like coming into the park, I felt good, but once I hit around mile 11, I was done. I saw a friend of mine's and guy I ran with. He, I saw him kind of walking a little bit because he was struggling too. So I was like, "Hey man, how you doing?" And then he saw me running, and then he kept running. And then I was willing to kind of finish with him, but he was like, "Yo, don't let me slow you up. I'm cramping." And I was like, "All right, man." I was, and we dapped it up, and I tried to finish strong and whatnot, and kind of ran a personal best. Kind of. I did. Not happy with the time. What was it? 2 hours and 15 minutes. Trying to pull for 2:10, but didn't do it. It's early in the year, and I'm not gonna hurt myself. Just save it. I got the Brooklyn half in May, so yeah, I'm sticking for that. But finished the race. Check that out. This is a nice medal. I love this medal. I think it's supposed to represent the ball dropping or whatever. But it's a beautiful medal. But it was a great race. It was fun. It was awesome. To see the sights. It was kind of like a sightseeing run. It was amazing. And I came to the conclusion that there's a good possibility I won't run this race again next year. And it's nothing to do with the Road Runners. Amazing organization. Races are always organized, top of the line. Waters every mile. People cheering you on. Volunteers are great. Organizers are great. It's just too cold. It is just too cold for me, and I think I'm gonna sit it out next year. Probably just in the early months, run 5, 10 Ks or whatever, and 5 mile races or stuff like that until we get into April and May, warmer weather, and then I could kind of kick it up a notch and run half marathons or 10 miles or whatever. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do next year. Not unless if the road runners pull a fast one on me and come up with another brand new course. Would they do that? I don't know. But yeah, if they don't, I probably won't run this race again next year. But, it's New Year. April's gonna be coming soon. I got a couple of 5, 10K races coming in. Try to run personal best on those races. And possibly I got some good news. I might be running the big one. As a friend of my race team calls it, the Big Daddy. The New York City Marathon in November. I did get picked for the lottery, but being that my team is kind of affiliated with Road Runners, they always give teams a couple slots. And treasurer on my team was like, "Hey, you still want to run the New York City Marathon?" And I was like, "Yeah, you better believe it." And he was like, "Let me check a few things," but he basically told me I was a shoo-in. So, looks like I'm going to be doing that or whatever. And if I do that, I've got to train like you wouldn't believe. Mileage got to go up. Probably got to join a gym, hit the weights, and and I got to be in good shape to run that race because I've never ran a full marathon in my life. It's a challenge, and it's when it comes to bucket list race. Maybe I'm biased because I'm a New Yorker, but that's number one on the list. So we'll see how that goes, and I'm gonna check about that. But other than that, I'll probably do this again in April after I run my 5, 10K races. I'll see y'all later.